So tomorrow is September 11th. So Saturday, September 11th. I'd love to know what you guys are doing to celebrate. Leave me a comment, send me an email. What are you doing to not celebrate, but honor the day of 9/11? My buddy out here asked me if I would give like a motivational speech. And I don't know if he asked me because he knows I love public speaking and I do this YouTube channel, or because he knows that I am a narcissist who loves to hear the sound of my own voice. But either way, he asked me to say some things. And there are these, so my wife's a doctor, her colleagues are doctors, and they work with corpsmen. And these corpsmen are like kids, you know what I mean? They're 19, 20, 21 years old, young men and women. And I thought, like, what can I say? Like, what can you say after 20 years of remembering 9/11? You know, you can recite numbers and dates and names, which are all important. And it's great to do that. And tomorrow, when they read the names of, or on Saturday, when they read the names of everyone who died at September 11th, and they have family members go up and read the names, I'll listen, and I always do. It's definitely important to understand the scope of what we're talking about here, the scale of what we're talking about here. But, you know, besides that, like, what can I do? What am I feeling on the 20th anniversary of 9/11? What is going through my mind? And, you know, so here's what I said. You know, not word for word, but here's basically what I said. I said, was anyone here born after 9/11? And no one was born after 9/11. I was like, well, how old are you guys? And so the youngest person was born in July 2001. So less than 2 months before September 11th. And then there was a few other people who were born within a few months of that. And I was like, okay, cool. Got it. So, out of the people who showed up for this stair climb this morning. And so I said, the only thing I could think to say this September 11th on the 20-year anniversary is to look you guys, you young people, you young sailors in the eye and say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we couldn't do more. I'm sorry that despite going on 5 deployments myself, other people going on 15 deployments, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Americans deploying to Afghanistan and Iraq, millions of people who've served. I'm sorry that out of all of that, we couldn't finish the war on terror. Not even close. Not even close. And I'm sorry that we couldn't figure it out and get past the politics. And I'm sorry that so many people lied. And I'm sorry that there was so much corruption. And I'm sorry that there was so much horrible stuff that happened. And I'm sorry that you now have to go deal with the war on terror that you had nothing to do with, that you were born into and grew up, and now you're an adult, and now you have to go deploy overseas. Because you know what? This September 11th, it feels like we have to talk about the 13 killed in Afghanistan a few weeks ago. And you know what? Those people weren't my age. They were your age, I said. They were 20, 21 years old. The oldest person who died on August 26th was younger than me. And so it's not going to be me or anybody else standing around here who has to go put themselves in harm's way next. It's you guys. And I'm sorry that that's the case. I'm sorry that we have to turn over the war on terror to you guys, born into it. I'm sorry, and I'm proud of you for enlisting. It might be more courageous to enlist now than it was in 2001, because your people enlisting now, 18, 19 years old, are enlisting into a war that's not theirs, that they were born into the war on terror, grew up in it, and now are enlisting, seeing everything that happened, all the good and all the bad, and they can see all the documentaries and read all the papers, and they can understand the Afghanistan papers and the war in Iraq. You know, people made up this WMD problem to go into Iraq, and that there were people torturing detainees, and that how many civilians have been killed in drone strikes and all this stuff, and then enlisting to go overseas to help people and potentially get killed. And I think that that's really heroic. So what I did was, I have a flag that I've flown over Afghanistan and Iraq, that I flew over Bagram and an outpost surrounded by Taliban, and I flew in Iraq in the face of ISIS, the same people responsible for that suicide bombing in Afghanistan and Kabul that killed 13 Americans. And I asked one of those young corpsmen to carry my flag. And I said, I want you to carry this. Will one of you carry this flag? Symbolic of you know, that I'm proud of you, that I appreciate you joining, willing to go make these sacrifices. Not only did you join the Navy, but you joined as a corpsman. And a corpsman was killed on August 26th. And so will you carry my flag today as we climb these stairs? Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining now. Thank you. I'm sorry that we couldn't do more. I'm sorry that you have to even be, I'm sorry that we're even talking about this, about August 26th. I'm sorry. I wish we could have done better. I wish we could have made the better choices, been more effective somehow, some way. I don't know what that way is, but somehow, some way could have prevented you from having to be here in the first place. But we couldn't figure it out. I wish I had done more. I wish there was more I could have done. That's what I said. That was my speech this morning to everybody. So I wanted you guys to kind of know about that.